Well, to create awareness of our collective lie. In order to be a bit more a free person. Yeah, in fact, all my work is about the lie of the lie we're living, the image we're building for ourselves, the status we are building for ourselves, the way we communicate together. Everything is about a lie. If you see the paintings of the children, you can see that it starts at young age. You can see how much the children suffer to give up their innocence. Their eyes are sad. And sometimes there's a bit of rebellion in the children. But it won't work. And it's not that I'm giving a judgment. It's an observation. It's an observation what makes me rebellious on one side and sad at the other side. So what are you supposed to do with that message? Well, be aware and try to be a bit more natural to each other. Don't hang so much value on status. Try to live a more honest life. The awkwardness is probably what I'm trying to do is to paint us, everybody, us, I call that us, no matter a black, white, young, old, whatever, us, as we conduct ourselves, as we behave within society, which is very tight, very narrow. There's no much room for personal freedom as human beings should be, actually. It's conventions. And that's the awkwardness, because in very subtle things, I'm trying to point that out. Well, I don't think you want to be them, because they aren't happy.
Right.
They're empty. Their eyes are sad, empty and sad. They are not. I never create happy people. Even if I paint children, there's always a big sadness in their eyes. Awareness, and if possible, a little change.
Which will lead
to a more honest society, but mostly to more personal freedom as well. Because living like that is not a party. It's a party on the outside, but it's not a party for the person that's living that life. I mean, if you go to bed at night and you take off your watch and you take off your suit and you take off your makeup and you take off your diamonds and you're looking in the mirror and then you think to yourself, my God, it's not a party living in a society like this. I used to paint very heavy paint, and more paint in like that. And I decided that I didn't want to do that in my paintings anymore, because it leads to, for the observer, it leads more to looking at the way I use my paint than the message. So I tried to hold the paint in the background. Because if I would paint, for example, a shirt like that with lots of paint and like a Monet or Impressionism thing, people would look at how I use my paint. And I don't want people to look at how I use my paint. It's a medium. It's a way off. It's not the end result. Which is on one hand a little bit sad because I like to do it. I like to use a lot of paint. But I decided not to do that. And there's always a struggle for, in fact, I would prefer my pictures to be black-white.
Why is that?
Because for me, color is part of a lie. It sounds strange, doesn't it? But the color we use it's not nature. This is why my gloves are so getting out of the picture. It's the biggest lie there is in the picture. But then when I make a painting completely black and white, I think to myself, oh no, that's not it. No, we can a bit of color, a bit more color. And then there's this balance, how much can I endure? Because basically, I would love to let it out, but I can't. Even that is dual. A technology, and on one hand, is the most beautiful invention ever. On the other hand, it makes people even more fake. There's the connection to the real human being is going further and further and further. Images are fake, chats are fake, and all the social media is more or less fake. It's more and more and more fakeness, more lies. How can I point out that a convention that we made all together is hiding the real human being behind it? And as plastic for me is really the worst in life that we created, I thought that there must be a sort of barrier between my human beings and the outside world, and that is plastic for me. So I thought it was a good one to use plastic gloves, household gloves or whatever you will call it.
Cleaning gloves, right?
Cleaning gloves, yeah. To prevent them from being really touched inside. So the gloves is something that I always use. Lately there's some black holes in my paintings. The black holes for me is the technology world, the internet, the not seen, and at the same time it's part of the awkwardness you'll have to feel. Is maybe, I'm not sure about that myself, maybe in the black hole is hidden the human being. It's got something to do with it, and I'm very satisfied when I paint it. We'll see. Because I don't want to be confronted with their lies. I mean, go to a party, go to whatever reception, whatever you go to. How are you doing? Well, I'm good. How are you? Well, very good. Fine. How's life? Perfect. Etc., etc. And I hate that. Can't stand it. And whenever you say to somebody, well, I'm really lousy, I'm really having a bad time, nobody knows how to react. There's no communication on a true level. And that's why I don't like to be around people. That's it. Better on my own.
Better not.